Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the number one money myth that keeps you broke. And what I mean by broke is paycheck to paycheck, regardless of income. So that's what broke is. Broke means you're paycheck to paycheck. That means that every single month you pay your bills, there's nothing left over. So you go to work the next month, you make all the money, you deposit the money, you pay all the bills, there's nothing left over. So you go back, and that's called the hamster wheel. That's the metaphor, meaning no matter what I do or how hard I work or no matter what we try, we're just going in circles. We're not getting ahead. Now in the last video I taught you how to get ahead by teaching you about the money spectrum and even giving you the exercise to do the money spectrum work to see where you are so that we can create a plan to get you from the red to the black, because wealth exists in the black. So go ahead, if you haven't watched that video, just go take a look. It might be 15-20 minutes, and that will catch you up to be able to take it the next step, which is what I call the money myth. So the money myth says that the answer to all of my money problems is to make more money. And this is a belief that everybody has. I just need to make more money. I just need to make more money. I just need to make more money. We need to make more money. We need to bring in more money. We need to make more money in the business. We need to make more money at our job. We just need to, should we get a side hustle? More money, more money, more money. But it's, I need to make more income. So what we don't understand is that there are two mindsets. There's the income mindset and there's a wealth mindset. And when I say mindset, I don't mean what you may think I mean when I say the word mindset. That it's not the difference between scarcity and abundance. Yes, those matter. I teach a whole program on mindset alone and talk about the difference between scarcity and abundance, how to move from one to the other. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about how we think and what we focus on. And what we focus on then causes us to think a different way and behave a different way. So the number one money myth says, I just need to make more money. So maybe you think that. Do you think that to get ahead, you just need to make more? And the thing is everybody out there is trying to sell you on how to make more money. Nobody's selling you on how to keep more money and turn that money into financial freedom. Because financial freedom is not based on how much money you make. So when you want to be wealthy, when you want to create financial freedom, when you want to create financial independence, safety, security, financial success, when you want to feel like you've gotten ahead, when you want to feel like there's enough money, when you're out of the day-to-day and month-to-month worry about money and struggle about money, that's the difference. It's a different way of living. When you can live in a place when there's plenty of money, as opposed to always being anxious that maybe there's not enough, it's a radically different way to live. So even though, yes, do we want financial freedom? Do we want financial independence? Do we want all that financial abundance? Absolutely. One day we'll get there. But before that, what we want to do is we just want to get out of the feeling of the anxiety and the stress and the conflict and the angst and the hustle and the grind and all of that. That's what we want to solve. That's the first problem we want to solve. And how you solve that is you cannot believe this myth to be true. It's false. The answer to all your money problems is moving from what I call an income mindset, meaning I need to make more money, to a wealth mindset. And a wealth mindset means you are focused on wealth creation. And that means wealth, net worth, becoming a millionaire, a bona fide net worth millionaire. That is your number one financial ambition, goal, dream, desire, passion. That's the goal. So it's not to build a 7-figure company. Maybe you want to, maybe you're not. But that's not the be-all, end-all. A 7-figure company or a 6-figure company or whatever it is that's your ambition, that's just an income goal. And that's just gross revenue for your business. If that's your only goal, you will never build wealth. So what we want to do is we want to replace this number one money myth with I just need to make more money to I want to be a net worth millionaire. That needs to, what you say, that's your mantra. And then the promise you make to yourself, and if you're married, you make it as a couple, is this is our number one target, and everything that we do needs to move us in this direction. All of our financial direction, all of our financial behaviors and what we do all needs to get us here. So, and then we reverse engineer everything, all those financial decisions back from that. And that becomes the agreement. It's agreement between ourselves. It's an agreement between the couple. And then our promise is not to betray that. So when you do that, this is wealth. Net worth millionaire, which means you have $1 million worth of sellable assets. So maybe at the moment, Bitcoin is on its way up. So it's like at the moment, I think it's $63,000 today per Bitcoin. So maybe how you want to become a millionaire is you want $1 million worth of Bitcoin. So if you did, you could sell your Bitcoin and cash in for $1 million. Maybe you have $1 million of equity in real estate, not your primary residence, but investment real estate. So you could sell that and be a net worth millionaire. Maybe it's in stocks. Maybe you've bought well and done stocks and done those investments. You could sell all of your stocks and put $1 million cash into your bank account. So that's what I mean by becoming a net worth millionaire. You didn't hear me say have a 7-figure business. You didn't hear me say anything to do with income. I didn't talk about making $1 million. No, it's the $1 million that's sitting somewhere that has $1 million worth of valuable value. It could be $1 million cash for that matter, but it's sitting there. So that becomes the goal. And that means wealth is your focus, becoming a millionaire, not this 7-figure business. Now, you might be able to become a millionaire in the time frame you want to become one. Maybe it's 10 years, and if you're making a certain amount of your money in your business, you can do it with a business that makes $250,000 a year versus $1 million. Or maybe you want to build a 7-figure business. My point is that it doesn't matter. You can hit this target at a $250,000 business or $1 million business. You can probably just get there faster with the $1 million business. But that's why I don't teach build a 7-figure company, because trying to build a 7-figure business is keeping a lot of entrepreneurs broke. But that's another conversation for another day. And we'll talk about that in the future. So when we have a wealth focus and a wealth mindset, because we've set the goal, the target, the ambition, the passion, the be all end all, nothing's going to get in my way of this as being a millionaire, net worth millionaire, then we're focused on 5 things, 5 parts of money, not just making more. The first thing is income. So yes, we're always focused on income. So as an entrepreneur, do we want to make more money? Yes, we do want to make more money. That's part of being an entrepreneur. You always want to grow. You always want to change. You always want to challenge yourself to become that next level. That's just how we're made up as entrepreneurs. But is income, I'm talking about household income. So what is household income? Well, if you're an entrepreneur, and this is what I love teaching is entrepreneurs, and I love teaching entrepreneurs because we have more control over our income. But this applies whether you're an entrepreneur or a W-2. So I've just added a little bit on for the business owners. So for business, what business is means you earn revenue in your business and you take out what's called cost of sales and expenses, and you have something left over, and that's called profit. So this is in your business. So you have this thing called profit. The profit in your business now is what you pay yourself, and you move that money out of your business and you put it into your household account. And that's called income. So this income, household income, let's say you just have one business and one household income, this income comes from the profit of your business. Or this income can be the W-2 income that you just drop into your account when you get paid every 2 weeks. But that's called income. So again, if we go back to the money myth, we're just trying to make more money all the time. And at some point that becomes really tiring. If you have the side hustle, can't do a side hustle for long without getting burnout. If you're just working 24/7 in your business, trying to make more and grind more, you're going to burn yourself out. There is a point of burnout of just having to rely on making more money to try to get ahead and get off that hamster wheel. But when you're in the wealth game, when you're focused on wealth and when you're in a wealth mindset, and again, this is what you're after, and you're not going to sacrifice or compromise this for anything, You're going to do this automatic pay-ins versus automatic pay-outs like I talked about in the money spectrum video. So this is what we're doing. Over our time of going towards our future self to become a net worth millionaire, yeah, we're working on growing our income over time. But what are we also doing? What we're doing is over time, we want to manage our personal expenses. In the last video, I talked about Parkinson's law, expenses always rise to match income. So as we're growing our income, we want to manage our expenses so that our expenses don't continue to go up as our income goes up. But this is what doesn't happen, is that as our income goes up, what happens for most of us is that our expenses go up to match our income. That's the wrong order. We want to keep our expenses really managed. We want to keep them more or less the same. As our income goes up, our expenses can go up a little bit, but we don't want to go up to match income. Because what we do from the last video with that surplus that I talked about is that by managing our expenses, and we have this delta of money from our income is up, our expenses are down. So now we have the surplus, and let's just say the surplus is $5,000 left over at the end of, let's say this month, for example, or this year. But since our income went up, we kept our expenses down. We created this delta or this differential of this $5,000 between what we made and what we spent. Now we can do something that we use this money to increase assets. And this is the game. So again, when we're here in the wealth game, we want to be constantly increasing our assets. That's that automatic pay in. But we want to keep buying assets. And over time, to get us on the spectrum to go from zero net worth to $1 million net worth, we just keep going. Maybe it's $100,000 of, maybe it's 50, you start at $50,000 of assets, 100,000, then it goes 200,000, and then it doubles to 400,000, and then it's 800,000. And then it's 1.6, and it's 3.2. So because we're not financially literate, and in one of my talks I just did that will be here released this week also, that I call it the 5 reasons why you're broke, which is because these are 5 root causes of why you're broke. One of those is what I call financial ignorance. And it's being ignorant of this thing called compound interest. And if you're not compounding, you will never be wealthy, because wealth is created by your money working for you, which is through this thing called compound interest, which is magic. And the compounding, if you know how to play this asset game, you can double your money every 5 to 10 years. And if you're doing that for a long period of time, you can do that. You probably aren't going to keep doubling your income. You're not going to go from a $50,000 income to a $3.2 million income. That doesn't happen. That's 0.0001% of people that may happen to. But we can double our net worth over that same period of time. So that means we're working to increase our income over time, we're working to keep our assets going up over time by managing our expenses and not letting Parkinson's law take an effect. And by lowering our expenses, part of that is lowering our liabilities. So these are the 4 pieces of what we're looking at when we want to start building wealth. Raise our income, manage our expenses, increase our assets, and lower our liabilities. So what are your liabilities? Your liabilities are what you owe. So this is your credit card. This is your mortgage. This is your car loan. This is your student loan. This is your, your boat loan. And what happens, the more money you make, instead of your liabilities go down, what happens is what you're doing instead is your liabilities are going up. And you don't know it. Every time you go into debt, the cost of your lifestyle rises because you've just borrowed the money to pay for something and you're paying interest on top of it. So that means your monthly expense went up because you added something to your monthly expense, another payment. And it's these payments on these liabilities is keeping you the break even that's just keeping you broke. So over time, this is what most people are doing. Their income is going up and their liabilities are going up to match the income because they're buying bigger houses, they're putting more on credit cards, they're getting more expensive car loans, and now you have 2 BMWs sitting in the driveway, neither one of them paid for. Still paying off those 6-figure student loans, and now maybe the kids even, you've signed on for your kids' student loans. And again, now you're making a really good income. You've always wanted a boat, so we have our boat loan. So what happens instead is your liabilities are going up as your income going up. You're managing your expenses where there's no surplus here, and that means you have no assets. And these assets here, like I said, when your goal is to become a millionaire, this is what we're looking at. Your net worth sits in this box. So to summarize all that, if we want to get out of the paycheck to paycheck hamster wheel, you cannot believe this money myth that everybody else believes, that just the answer to all my money problems is to make more money, where you're just doing everything to try to make more, go from 5 figures to 6 figures, 6 figures to 7 figures, all that shit they're selling you out there on every single social media channel. And it's a race to the bottom. Everybody is selling income. Everybody's selling the shiny penny. Everybody's selling you the get rich quick scheme. And they're taking your money because you're buying into that. Instead of buying into wealth creation, those of us that teach wealth, we're saying very different things. We're not saying get rich quick. We're not saying go from 4 to 5 or 5 to 6 figures in your income. We're saying go to 5 to 6 figures on your assets, because this is where you'll feel financially free, in the sense of free from stress, anxiety, conflict, all those other terrible feelings that comes from not having enough money. All right, that sums up today. As always, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Put in a comment. I'll answer your question and let me know what else you want me to share upon. All right, thanks.